honey, and like what I keep on telling and saying it, I'm not gonna stop saying this. I am the musicians and the honey. You know what funny is, Kevon?
What's that?
I was kind of thinking to actually reward you the title already, but you know what? I changed my mind.
I'm not worried about that. You know why? Because every opportunity I've given you to show off your talent, you have... You crashed your own battleship. But anyway, we can get into this as we usually do. Right now, we want to divert our attentions besides ourselves, because God knows we're conceited enough.
Can you move a little bit?
Sure, I can do that. Oh, you trying to get close to me, girl?
No.
You trying to give me some of that spam?
No, you'll never ever have a spam.
Damn, why'd you feel easy? Oh, yes. Anyway, let's go to.
Because you know what, you don't deserve it.
Well, you know what? Let me sizzle it, and then you can see it for yourself about that.
Sizzle your ass.
Oh, zing! I like that. I like that. Anyway, let's get to our guest, and sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, now please tell the world your name, please.
Well, I'm James Presley. A lot of folks call me Jim.
Jim.
But so I get called lots of things by my wife. And, that's how that goes. And,
I'm sure that this is very familiar. Then I'm sure this is very familiar.
Yeah, I'm a local musician here. I've been in the music business all my life. I spent my first 20 years in Houston, and then I started touring for 20 years, and I've been here ever since, working with bands full times, working with shows full times. I think the reason you guys have me here today is about a project that I've been working on for a few years. But like yourself, work is work, right? You work with lots of people.
That is correct.
You work hard, and it turns into work.
Right.
The way I keep myself in an upbeat mood and I keep myself positive is I always have a fun project. Each year I have a project that is really not work because I'm already working. That keeps the fun in it. So this particular project is my fun project.
And let's take a look at what he's talking about.
If I could say just one thing, I'd only say it in my dreams, where skies are blue and mermaids sing. On an island far away, great adventure every day, and I
There you go, James.
Yeah.
I made that for you.
There you go.
I tried to make something. So you go ahead and continue what you're saying about this project.
This particular project is it's a version of Peter Pan, and like I said, I like to do fun projects. And I have a cultural following of several thousand people in the Disney community. They actually call it Disneyana, and this D23 is popular. We have the Disneyana fan club, which has branches all over the United States and in the UK, different places. And I came up with a particular model of making limited edition music. And people were not familiar with it at first. This was 10 years ago. I had my first release. It did well. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to reach a children's market and branch out from the regular Disneyana following.
Right.
So my idea was I was going to create an episodic, almost a radio type version of Peter Pan. It would be 20-minute versions, and people could purchase them online for $1 or whatever, and they could have bedtime stories of Peter Pan. It would come back, pick these people up, and continue. So I do work as I'm an indie artist, but I license everything that is from Disney through Disney with Disney Publishing. So I have a good business relationship, working relationship with them. And I said, this is what I want to do. And they came back and they said, no, corporate doesn't want you to do that. And I said, why? And they said, well, we have something similar. So which is fine. I mean, you're dealing with a big business. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they no. It's all good. That's just the way business works.
Right.
And I didn't want to step on any toes, so I called the company that licenses Peter Pan. Now, that is the Great Ormond Street Hospital, the corporate division out of London. In 1929, the writer Peter Pan, James M. Barrie, bequeathed the copyright to that company. So if you decide that you want to run the play, which he did at Peter Pan or something like that, you have to go through them. That's who you pay for royalties. And they said, Jim, they said, you know, Disney has to go through us. They said, do you do original music? I said, sure. And he said, well, do your own version. Do all original music. Take the public domain writings, which belongs to the public. Do a brand new script and make something that we think would be good to license for our high schools and youth theaters, because they need more versions of Pan to license. So that's how it became. It started out then as a team of people that have worked. We have one, the supervisor in charge of the animation has already been with a hit series called Phineas and Ferb with Disney. So we've got great people on board. That's the animated feature. Well, we are also doing the live stage musical. And we have December 13th, 2019. That's December 13th.
That's
this coming year. Yeah, this year, at the end of the year.
Right.
That will be the world premiere, and it will be at the Summerlin Theater, the Performing Arts Center. Now, this is it's
right
a
in your area.
it's just a 281 or 283 seat theater, so doesn't seat a lot of people.
Reserve your seat now.
There you go.
Yeah, but it is a full size play with a giant ceiling. They perform Broadway musicals. They had the Nutcracker. So in this version, we can fly in Neverland. We have the giant sets for the nursery, and we are working on raising funds right now. And so far, we've been successful. Our funds have paid for the theater. It's completely paid for. Our next big fundraiser is Flying by Foy, and this is the company that flies Peter Pan. Back in the 50s, when Mary Martin flew, this is the company that flew Mary Martin. Just a year or two ago, whenever it was, Kathy Rigby flew for the live television show. Right. That's the company that flies her. If you go see a Broadway version, this is the company that flies her. They're all around the world. And it's here because they are based out of here. Here in New York is their main two places. Right. I'm able to get a great price. I tell you that price. I'm getting them for $3,000, which is unbelievable. Wow. Most people pay $5,000 to $10,000 because
I have a question for you, James. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I know that you've been working on this project since when? I believe last year or the other year?
No, I've been working longer than that. I've been actually on this. I checked for my email when I first emailed Great Ormond Street Hospital. It's been just under 4 years.
Okay.
Wow.
And what I did to learn this for about 3 years or so, or a couple of years, a little over 2 years, when I was touring, at the end of the night to wind down, I would read the books. I'd gather as much history as I could. I got real familiar. I wanted to, anytime you're a musician, you don't want to do cover songs, right? I don't want to just do a cover. Right. I want to bring something new to the table. So
you want to be uniquely yourself, even if you're doing someone else's song.
Here is the uniqueness about this. There was a chapter in a book called The Little White Bird by James M. Barrie. It was called Peter Pan, and it was out there. It was like crazy. It said all children come from here, and they go through Kensington Gardens. They turn into birds. They become park birds. They go to families' home. They tell how he got to Neverland. They tell how he met Tinkerbell. All these things. Well, what happened? This was in the late 1800s, just after the turn of the century, and England at that particular time was in. It was like they were all in mourning. It was Queen Victoria. Her husband had passed away, been gone for years and several years, and she was in mourning. So if the Queen is in mourning, everybody is in mourning. Right. Well, they didn't have CDs. They didn't have records. They go see live theaters. They go see shows. So just after that turn of the century, someone came out with a play, the musical, The Wizard of Oz, and it was a smash hit. And James M. Barrie goes, I can do that. He had written a book called Peter Pan in The Little White Bird. So he rewrote this, turned it into Peter Pan, the boy who would never grow up. It became a smash hit. I'm not sure the exact date. I think it was around 1907, something like that it came out. And then, but what I did to make ours different, you know, you only have X amount of time to put together a production. So he didn't use everything. He didn't tell where kids come from. He didn't tell how he met Tinkerbell. We reach back, and not only do we tell that, but one of the stars in our show, her name is Margaret Carey, and Margaret, coincidentally, will be 90 years old next year, and it will also be the 90-year mark that James and Barry bequeathed the copyright to Great Ormond Street Hospital. She was born in 1929. He bequeathed those rights in 1929.
Is she gonna be here?
She will be here. She will be in the show. She'll be telling the story. She is in the animated feature, and she was like I said, she was the 1953 Tinkerbell for Disney's Peter Pan. So
Nice.
this is a very, very big thing that's happening. It's just everyone is donating their time. I'm not making money off this. Anything over and beyond goes to the Great Ormond Street.
This is the thing,
Hospital.
obviously, of your passion. This is love.
It is.
You already kind of stated that all the things that you're doing
And all the
kind of
musicians.
offsets this thing here
Musicians.
to really make that go and give something to the community.
Artists and
to
musicians.
that
There's so
thing.
many local musicians and
Uh-huh.
people like Roxy Darr is very, very popular on the West Coast. She sings a lot of the home games, national anthems for the
Right.
Dodgers. We have her. She has a huge following. It's an organic following that's making this thing popular. All these individual people. We have Las Vegas artists. They're doing the same thing. So the soundtrack's been done for a year and a half. And in the spring, sometime in the spring, I will actually release a soundtrack, and that will be a fundraiser also. And
Okay.
Roxy Darr will have some of these songs on her EP, but the fundraiser will be the soundtrack for the movie, and that'll be coming out. But Roxy is very popular, and we've got Margaret, who's very popular. We've got age appropriate. These are kids that will be playing the characters.
What is that?
That is my phone.
But anyways,
Right,
James,
unfortunately.
I see that you sent me this Brett Cohen's video.
Yes.
So let's go and take a look.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let me get these damn commercials. Let me get these commercials in my phone.
Commercials.
Yes, I'm getting commercials in my phone.
What is that? Shucks. Hold on. Let me hold on. I think I am. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. Wait, it's not playing.
I don't know.
Okay.
Now this is, if you find it, this is actually from the storyboard.
Oh. Okay.
This is not the complete copy, but we lost Brett to cancer a few weeks ago, and he was 36 years old.
Oh my
James
goodness.
Presley. Can you look on that?
Very popular musician here.
James Presley. Oh no, it's not. It's Robert Cohen.
Got it. I
Is
see.
right
It's
there?
right. Nope. Next one down.
There you go.
Yes.
So here you go.
Hand. He's a lefty fighter now. Ha ha! If you meet Hook in open fight, you must leave him to me.
You cut off his hand?
Yes, and it was eaten by a giant crocodile. And his friend Smee would have been eaten too, but the croc accidentally swallowed a clock. Ha ha! Now every time a croc comes near, you hear that tick-tock, tick-tock.
Well,
There you
that's-
go.
There you
yeah,
go.
So come on, talk about Brett.
Well, that
Cohen.
was the storyboard. Now Brett wrote that song. He wrote the song for the crocodile, and what you saw there, you can see the full thing. That particular song on YouTube. That is the animated storyboard. There's things that people just looking at they don't realize. The way they do a lot of the animated features now, not all, but a lot of them, they use what they call puppet rigs. If you watch Phineas and Ferb, that's how that's done. That's how this is done. You see like an animation of an alligator and a stick figure. Basically, there's mechanics in there, and they take the finished characters and they disassemble them. They pop them onto those characters. They put in the background, they put in the foregrounds, and boom, the thing becomes a full-blown animated.
It's amazing. You are a big fan of movies, so.
I am a big fan of
So
movies.
what do you think about everything?
I find it very interesting because obviously with a lot of stuff, as things get repeated and retreaded and rebrought back from modern stuff, what for this production of Peter Pan, what is it that you want to give out to the masses? Obviously, this is a passion project for you.
Yeah.
But what do you feel that this will give in today's world?
Yeah, what it's going to give in today's world, specifically, because this story has been told over and over and over.
Yes.
We are bringing something a little bit different to the table, and we got a surprise, which will be coming up in the live version with an additional song. But, I'll go ahead and announce that in a minute. But what I'm bringing to the masses is Great Ormond Street Hospital Corporate Division said they would like another version of Pan for high schools and youth theaters. They need more versions of Pan. Now these have to be high quality. This has to be something they go, yes, this is what we're looking for. It has to be authentic. Even though we're bringing something new, we're not making it up. It's coming from early writings. But it's very, very brief. So everything that they see, And by the way, in the animated feature, there are a few things in the live version you won't see in the animated feature because it's meant to be episodic. But there's things that you might think is missing in the animated feature will pop up in other episodes, but they're going to be in.
That brings up an actually interesting point because obviously you have to base it on the books.
Yes.
So they're not giving you, as far as the script writers, they're not giving you much room to really extrapolate anything from there outside of what the books were that kind of begot the Pan movie that we all know and love.
Well, I can do what I want to because it's public domain, but I'm purposely staying with the book. But the difference that's here is even though I'm taking some of these familiar stories, I'm going to sections of the book that James and Barry and other people have not put in plays yet.
Right.
So you will see the things that are familiar, and you're going to see some things that are not in there. However, they are in the book.
Right.
So you're really seeing Pan. So it's a really nice, interesting thing. And the play is short.
Okay.
It's only 35 minutes long, the live version.
So that goes to another thing. This is an episodic situation. How often will these runs go? Because if they're episodic, that would say that there's going to be an episode 2 and episode 3.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. This
Right.
is the pilot, officially the pilot.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
think
generating.
I will have a chance to be a voiceover on the next pilot. So.
No, you never know.
You know what?
You never
definitely
know.
have to, if we get her in there, we're going to have to get her a phonics.
Don't be a hater. You
I'm
are
not
becoming
a hater.
so hater.
I am not a hater. I just want to
He
make sure when
is
you
a
do
hater,
it. No.
ladies and gentlemen.
Now, listen. I'm going to say this to ladies, gentlemen, and the hermaphrodites because I haven't talked about y'all.
See,
Right. And that's my point number 2. I want to be sure that when you do it, that you can do it in the proper way.
I did actually audition on the last interview with James.
Okay.
We actually have James on Maria and Joe Live TV a year ago, I guess.
Yes,
and we got some of the people who was behind
Right.
voiceover of the Peter Pan.
Yes,
It's
Right.
coming on December 13th. Go ahead and tell them one more time.
Let me tell you about this and how you can get tickets because, like I say, there are only 200. I think it's actually 283 seats, and we have already sold just under 100. So there's
You're going all
not
right.
that many left.
Yeah.
You're doing
and
all
then
right.
100,
102, yeah.
Well,
because obviously we have to have some stuff so we can go,
You
do
can-
more footage of the spot.
There's different ways you can get this. The easy way, we're watching Facebook right now. You can go on Facebook, James Presley, and you'll see all kind of links. My website is jamespresleymusic.com. You can also find that on Facebook. Just go to the menu and look for everything about Peter Pan. Now, right now we are selling character model sheets. Let me see if I don't think I brought one in. The character model sheets are really nice. They're 8x10 prints, and it has models of the characters in various poses, and it has the voiceover artists down here. A picture of them. They're signed and numbered. There are 7 in the complete edition set. They're hand signed by those artists, and there's also an 8x10 print certificate of authenticity that goes with it. So they're going to be memorabilia because there's 25 in each edition and 7 in the series. I might have mixed that up. That's it. So you've got 7 to pick from. Some people have gotten all 7. I've had a few of them that are collectors that have gotten them. I had one company that bought 2 of each.
That's great.
And what happens with this, it's $40 if you purchase it, and it's like 2 8x10s. But here's what's cool. And this is what helped us pay for the theater. And there's still some left. The shipping is free, and you get these, and you get a ticket. The tickets sell for $30.
Right.
So this gives us early money to fund the project. It did pay for the theater, and our next fundraiser coming up is T-shirts. It'll have the world premiere and the title, and the cast members will have their shirts. It also gives us the funding to get this going. We did have to pay a small fee for use of the trademark Neverland overseas.
Of course.
It took care of that. So it's paid. These fundraisers have paid the bills. This is paid for itself, and really out of the generosity of each musician that has come on board and contributed and continues to contribute to this. And the music's going to be around forever because when they license this, they will have the soundtracks where they can sing along with the soundtrack. If the kids can't sing the songs, then they can put the lead vocal in there and they can sing along with it. So it's really set up to be licensed, for these youth theaters and high schools and things like this. But this very special performance, knock on wood, I'm very positive. I think it's going to happen, but we're working to raise the money for Flying by Foy. So these characters will be up in the air. They'll be flying. Everything will be
Nice. Well,
happening.
you know what? This is gonna be on December 13th. So reserve your seat now. We have only a few seats left
We
for
got
this.
them. Come on in. And plus, you got all year to go ahead and set this up. So
And the tickets will actually not go on sale until early next week. That's because these
Next week.
people that purchase these editions, they had to wait until I got them printed.
okay.
And they are, here's the neat thing too, when you get these advanced tickets, they're done like boarding passes. But they look like collectors. I don't have my bag in here, but I have one. But it says a boarding
We'll
group.
get that posted on our Facebook.
All right.
Yes, we will.
It says a boarding pass. Well, that stands for advance. And what happens when you go in there, you also, because you purchased in the A boarding group an advance pass and you helped us get this happening, your name will go on to the credits of the movie as helping Peter Pan fly in Las
So
Vegas.
is Musician Loves Honey is gonna be on the credits?
Hey, if you buy some tickets.
Right, so he ain't falling for the okie doke.
So-
She's always trying to say he ain't falling for the okie doke. You saw that, right?
Wait, this
He
is
ain't falling for that. He ain't
Musician
falling for
Loves
that at all.
Money. Is
Yeah.
that the name of the show? Musician Loves Money?
Hey,
No,
who
no,
don't
no,
love
no,
money?
no.
Who don't love it, man?
There you go.
But anyways, guys, we are on the end of our segment.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Presley,
Thank you for having
coming
me.
back.
Thank
and
you.
also, Mr. Presley does a lot of songs in town and have a band but
Well, I'm not running my band. I'm full time with Brett Rigby now.
Oh,
We are playing all over. Just go to look up Brett Rigby online on Facebook, whatever. And I'm still doing a lot of shows. I'm in Sacramento this week, and then I'm in
he's a
Havasu.
busy man.
Yeah, but Brett is just phenomenal. I've never worked with a country band as good as
I love
this
country music.
band.
I know. See, we had that thing here.
Yeah.
See,
I love country
it hurts
music.
my heart a
and-
little bit. Not that I don't like country.
Whatever.
Not that I don't like country.
Come
It's
on.
just country music and R&B music have the same themes, but country
it
music
hurts
seems
my,
to.
Oh my God! Did I touch your heart for that? You
I
know?
wish you would.
Oh, shush. Anyways, guys, we okay. Now we're gonna be back on
Yes.
the third and fourth segment. This is the thing. On the third segment, we have this musician. We find these musicians, two
Yes,
of
we
them,
did. Yes,
on
we did.
our show. They actually connected with us through the.
Through our last
live
watch party,
streaming.
right?
Yes,
so,
live streaming.
So we're gonna have
And-
them on in just a bit. So let's go ahead and get that moving. We're gonna get these bills taken care of. This is Musician Loves Honey. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on social media shows. We will be right back.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York. So his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take.